So we all know that Quad Cortex is the current place to be, but now that we've got plugin integration, how close are the plugins to the actual pedal plugins? Let's find out.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
You guys, also welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, if you're old school, you know what we're about by now. If you're new school, if you're fresh boots, if you're hot off the press, if you're down for a new bunch of shit, this might be the channel for you. It is a guy who just loves gear. I'm endorsed by companies, but I love them and I don't really have to over-egg those companies. I'll be brutally honest with you about the stuff that they do, and they're okay with that. I use them because I love them, and I use the products that I use because I love the products that I use. So that's it. If you're down with that, please give me a like or a subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and there's a script that you'll hear a million times. But anyway, check me out and see what happens. And if you like it, give us a sub, because I need to get over 20,000, man. I've been just licking the door at 20,000 subs for 4 years. Come on, let's push me over the edge. We are looking today at the Fortin Nameless plugin, and we're looking at the Fortin Nameless plugin amps on the Quad Cortex. We're going to load up the same preset, and we're going to see whether or not it sounds the same. Then we're going to load up just an amp, and we're going to just tweak it to where it is on the preset. I'm going to tweak it to where it is on the pedal and see if that sounds the same. And that's it. I've never done this before, so you coming with me on this journey, and it might sound great, it might sound completely different. I don't know yet, so let's see what happens. Let's go to the systems. Right, guys, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to start by just fucking about with the defaults. So I'll do the default on the door, and I'll do the default on the Quad Cortex, and I'll stick them next to each other later on. I'll just play some cheeky riffs on this glorious Ibanez J Custom, which I adore with all of my heart, every bit of it. Right, so here we are. That was a faff every time. Anyway, so loaded up the default. Here it is, and this is what it's going to sound like just straight off the bat. It sounds bloody monstrous, by the way. Wow. Okay, so straight away the plugin just sounds phenomenal, like really live, really thunky, super present, everything really good. And that is just as it is. I haven't messed about with that. That is just the default settings. So there is a little bit of the Zool on there, and that's just a noise gate. That's what you get without the Zool. There's no Hendrix drive, and there's a little bit of grind, which I'm assuming is going to be on the default of the plugin as well. That is the preset settings I've got. The cab we are using is just the default cab, whatever that cab is. And I'm assuming, again, the default is going to be exactly the same on this. We've got zero EQ at all, and on the post effects, there's nothing on. Absolutely nothing on. So what I'll do is I'll just throw the delay on, and we'll have a little chug on that. It's a lot of bloody delay. I approve. Let's see what the reverb is as default. Quite a big cavey reverb. Very, very nice indeed. Man, this plugin sounds so bloody good. Right, okay, what I'm going to do now is just going to roll the volume down and see what that does. So just G major. Right, I'll just take the noise gate off because it's clamping, so. Front pickup. So as you can see, that cleans up lovely. Get that back on. She's a noisy girl. Okay, so that is our plugin default. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to load up a preset. So there is one that I'm particularly fond of by John Kirchhorn, and that guy is here, Canaan, and it is wide lead. It's bloody brilliant. It's about one of the best presets I've ever heard in my life ever. But what I might do is I might take the doubler off, and that sounds like this. Holy shit, balls. Right, so that sounds fantastic. Let me just take the doubler off. Oh, John. Oh, John. Quite possibly might have knocked Rabir off the top spot for favourite presets. Possibly. Sozrab, if you heard that. He's still my guy. But John is fucking good, man. Holy shite. Right, okay, so great preset. But just unbelievable. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep that preset. And I'm going to A-B it now against the Quad Cortex. So I'm going to do the whole Quad Cortex thing now, and then I'm going to double this up at the end to see how close these are. So stick around. So let's head on over to the pedal now. See what's going down. Right, so now we're at the pedal. So let's just start the recording on that. Okay, so exactly the same gig. I'm going to load up a default preset, get the levels right, and then just see what we've got. So I'm going into this. I'll talk through my mouth rather than through a plectrum. Make sure that's all in thing. Right, I'm going to go to plugin presets, Nameless Suite X, Artists, down to me old mate John Canaan, wherever he is. John. There he is. John Canaan. I'm going to go for wide lead. And now we're there. Okay, so... Oh, shit, sorry. No, we're not. We're going to go for default first. So sorry about that. Go back, plugins, Neural DSP. Oh, default. There you go. Okay, so here is the default. This is what we had earlier. For me, straight off the bat, this feels chewier, but it doesn't feel as crunchy, which is weird. Exactly the same things are on. So we've still got the Zool, that's on. We've still got the grind, which is on. We've still got the EQ, which is on, but it's basically a flat line, just as it was with the plug-in. Nameless cab, exactly the same. We're running the same dynamic and condenser, so it's exactly the same. We are on pretty much exactly the same exactly the same preset. It's all groovy right now. So we've got this. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. Without a doubt, if you are going to buy one plugin for your Quad Cortex, buy this one. It is so bloody good. Right, okay, sounds fucking monstrous, sounds really, really good. Okay, so now that's the default. Let's go into the artists, and let's go to our Johnny Bear again. Do you know what? On thinking about John, I think he works for Neural. I think he's the main demo guy for Neural, which would make sense because he bloody knows his presets. Sorry, John, for not knowing who you are. I think you wear a headband. I think that's John. If it is, hi, John. You're a top lad, and this is a great preset. So let's hear John's preset again. Oh, mate, you know how to set up a tone. Right, let me just take the widener off. If I ever meet you, John, I'm gonna maybe try and kiss you on the neck. What a gentleman. What a preset. Okay, fucking amazing. So that's that. Right, okay, so I can't remember what it did for the plugin, but it's kind of a lot of A stuff, so I'm just going to play some A stuff. This is the reason to buy a Quad Cortex, guys. This is the reason to buy one. It's fucking so good. Right, okay, let's try the cleanup thing. So I'm just going to take the delay and reverb off. Do that by just double tapping. Let's try that cleanup thing. Again, take the noise gate off. Now straight away, even with the noise gate off, it's a lot quieter, and that is like there is literally no noise gates on that at all. It's well quieter. Okay, so maybe that's the thing. So rolling the volume, no volume roll off. Still feels like there's a gate on it, even though there's no gate on it. You can hear the hiss. Oh, do you know what? Because is there? Oh, the Zool's on. There she blows. So that'll be why the Zool was on, and there is. So what are you then? There's a plug-in gate. There's two gates, so we've got the Zool and a plug-in gate. You must get rid of that plug-in gate. You just don't need that. Anyway, guys, that is it. So let's go back to me in the past or the future to talk about kind of what I feel about that. Yeah, let's do that. So that was bloody interesting. Right, okay, so my take on it is the plugin feels a lot more brittle and top-endy. Oh, I'll say a lot. It definitely accentuates the top end a bit more. It feels a little bit more real, should I say? It feels a little bit more real. It feels like I'm playing an amp in a studio. The plugin, the Quad Cortex version of it, however, feels like I'm playing through a mix. So it feels real, but it feels like there's some additional smoothening things happening. And I don't know which one I prefer. I think what I'd end up doing is making the plugin sound like the Quad Cortex, but I enjoy the rawness of the plugin. But the Quad Cortex made me want to play more. The Quad Cortex was more friendly, tough one. Needless to say, they're both friggin' brilliant, and they're both the same price. So you get both. So you pay whatever dollar you pay, and you get the plugin and you get the Quad Cortex download anyway. Especially well with the X systems, the X editions you do. That was really, really interesting. Okay, so did it sound completely different? I don't know, because I haven't done the comparison yet. Maybe you should have done that before the overview, but I didn't. Just from what I'm taking from right now, because I didn't know what I was going to do, I've just done it. I prefer the plugin for amp in the room sound, but I prefer the Quad Cortex for the finished product, because that's how I would make it sound anyway. If indeed there is any differences in sound, I don't know yet. You guys will find out before I do. Well, you won't, but you'll find out before this. Brilliant. Anyway, guys, I hope this has given you a little bit of insight into whether or not there is any difference between the plugin versus the Quad Cortex plugin. If there is, and your ears are better than mine, ooh, I found a fisherman's friend. I'll be eating that. If you feel that there was a massive difference or whatever, just write some comments. Let's get involved. Or if any of you guys have seen anything else like this with the Pliny X plugin or the Rabea, which will be out soon, or any of the other X version, like plugin versus Quad Cortex, let me know. There might be wild difference, there might be less difference, but this one felt brilliant no matter what system I was working on. It sounded more like an amp on the door, and it sounded more like a mixed tone on the QC. However, both of them are brilliant. I would totally be well happy with both. And I'm thinking maybe I should run both as a mix. So I have the door on top of the QC. Remember, the QC is running in analog, so maybe it's something to do with the conversion. I'm running XLR into my door, whereas obviously the plugin's just direct, it's already in there. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. I've had a blast, absolutely brilliant. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.